Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and today, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all the mid shooter playmaker, y'all. Now this build's gonna come out to the mid-range playmaker, but this build is definitely gonna be able to hit the mid-range. So before we get into the making of the actual build, first things first, thank y'all so much to everybody who decided to click on today's video, man. If you are looking to join the RGF Rich Gang family, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, but also go ahead and be sure to turn on post notifications. And then from there, go ahead and hit that like button. Now, I'm telling you, I got a goal of 25 likes on this video. If we can get that, that is definitely going to be a huge help. And I'm telling you, in the future, I am definitely going to be doing some giveaways, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And when it comes down to 2K22, dropping all of the latest content every single day as soon as the game drops. But let's go ahead and get into the making of this mid shooter playmaker, y'all. So the first thing that y'all want to go ahead and do is, when it comes down to this build, we're not putting it under the shooting guard or the point guard position. We're going to go ahead and put this build under the power forward, which is going to make it even more rare because you are normally used to seeing these build names out of different positions. Now, when it comes down to the pie chart, this is going to be a huge thing that you want to pay attention to. Now, I'm sure we're going to be able to make this build out of multiple different pie charts, but go ahead and pick the one split right down the middle with the shooting as well as the playmaking. Now, when it comes down to the physical profile, this is really going to be based on your preference, but in my opinion, the first one is definitely going to be much better. On this version, we're not getting too much of a boost on the vertical, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the first pie chart, and that is going to be the one that pays off in the long run. Now, when it comes down to the rest of these stats, y'all, be sure that you are following along exactly as I show y'all. All of these have their key things that go into them, so be sure to stick through. So as for the finishing, the close shot's going to be maxed out at 83, driving dunk 63, then the post hook is going to go up to a 72. Now, when it comes down to that mid-range shot, this is going to be an 80. Free throw, go ahead and put that to an 87, and then for the post fade, go ahead and put that to an 83. Now, when it comes to the three-point shot, go ahead and put this exactly to a 74. If you go anything higher, 75 and up is going to change the build name, especially with the wingspan that we're picking, y'all. So then from here, what you want to go ahead and do is, as you can see, a couple of minor adjustments that you can make on this build to get badges in other categories that you'd prefer. So if you want to, you can lower that post fade from anywhere to 20 badges and up, and that is definitely going to be okay. Then, when it comes down to the playmaking, we're going to go ahead and max out every single attribute on this category. That's going to give us another 23 badges, y'all. Really good setup so far, but now, let's go ahead and check out the defense, max out the first three categories, then go ahead and max out that defensive rebound, and lastly, put the rest into the offensive. That is going to give us 2 badges, but we made one minor adjustment right here to get an extra badge onto the defensive, and as you can see, we have now got 3. But as I said earlier, if you want to, make a couple of adjustments when it comes down to that post fade if you're looking to get some extra attributes in other areas. So as you can see with the finishing, you can get up to 5 finishing badges. And from here, we're still going to be able to maintain anywhere from 20 to 22 shooting badges. But I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit different. I'm going to end it off with 4 finishing badges, 22 shooting, and then 3 defensive with the 23 playmaking, y'all. Now, honestly, I really feel like this is a balanced setup because when it comes down to the shooting, that is going to be a main attribute when it comes down to this build. Same thing with the playmaking. So if you learn how to shoot really well on this build as well as dribble, everything that goes into this build is definitely going to be perfect. Now, like I said, remember, you can go ahead and take off some of the badges in certain areas to put them in another category. If you're looking to do that, I really don't blame you. Honestly, this, in my opinion, is going to be the best way to make this build super balanced all around. It's really well built. Now, when it comes down to the body shape, to take up the most space, I'm going to be real with y'all. Burly is the one that y'all want to go with. Then from here, when it comes down to the height, we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves on this build. So we need to actually go ahead and put the build at 6'7". Now, it goes a little bit further than this because if we leave it at the max or even the lowest wingspan, you're not going to be able to get the pro dribble moves, or the build name is going to change. So first, before we get into that, the height, 185, is going to be the perfect range for you. Then, when it comes to the wingspan, so I need y'all to understand, if you go ahead and leave the wingspan as is, you're not getting the build name. So you have two different options to go with right here. You can either, one, go ahead and put the wingspan to an 86.0 or an 85.0. Both of these are going to be okay, but if you want to, you could go with the one that is more maxed out. In my opinion, it really just comes down to which attributes you like more, if you're willing to shoot with that high of a wingspan. And honestly, in my opinion, it's going to help out on the defense, so that is the one that I would definitely choose. The takeovers are going to be the same, but again, it really comes down to your preference. So when it comes down to it, these stats are actually going to be very nice when you look at them, especially once you get this build to 99. Our speed is going to be in the 90s. Acceleration, pretty much going to hit it. Then when it comes to the vertical, that's going to be in the 70s. Close shot with boost and takeover has the potential to hit 99, y'all. When it comes down to that driving dunk, this is going to be in the 70s. Post hook will be in the 80s. Then when it comes down to the mid-range shot, this is going to be in the 90s easily with boost and grinding this build out. Three-point shot has the potential to hit the 90s as well. Then when it comes down to that free throw, this is easily going to hit 99. Post fade is going to be in the high 90s. Then when it comes down to the playmaking side, we're going to be able to get the pro dribble moves at 99 overall. And then on the defensive side, perimeter defense and the lateral quickness, once this build is maxed out with boost, is going to be in the 80s, y'all. So do not worry about that. The same exact thing applies for that defensive rebound. This is honestly going to be a very nice build to use because of the defensive stats, but also because of how well-rounded that we made it. Now, as you can see on this build, we're going to be able to get the post-scoring takeover, especially with that 99 close shot. But then we get the shot creating, playmaking to break ankles, and then also we get the sharp shooting. I'm going to go with the post-scoring to be more unique. And as y'all can see, we have made the mid-range playmaker, y'all. Now, before I end the video, I'm going to go ahead and just show y'all a couple of the bad setups that I would run when it comes down to this build. We already seen what it's going to be looking like at 99. We're going to be able to do everything we want out of this build. Shoot, the defense is not bad once you consider this build maxed out. And then again, you have to also consider that it is a rare build. So now, when it comes down to the defensive, we're going to go ahead and go with a couple different bad setups. You could go with pure gold clamps or pure gold intimidator. You could spread the wealth right here between the 3 bronze badges. It really comes down to what you are most comfortable with. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that option up to y'all. But now, let's go ahead and get into the finishing. So first, I'm going to go with contact finisher on gold or even fancy footwork. Both of these are going to be really nice to put on. But then from here, if you want to, you could even go with silver for one of them and put on 2 bronze badges. There are a couple different setups that you can definitely run on this build. So you definitely want to be sure that you are for sure that you are comfortable with what you run when it comes down to the bad setup. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. 22 badges to work with. So for me, the first one that I really have to consider is going to be Hot Zone Hunter as well as Range Extender. For now, I'm going to go ahead and say that if you're looking to just grind this build out, Hot Zone Hunter is not necessary if you're going to be playing My Career and all that kind of stuff. But if so, go ahead and leave it on. And then from here, I'm going to go with Corner Specialist, Catch and Shoot, and then Deadeye on Hall of Fame with Bronze, Green Machine, and then Volume Shooter. Now, you could take off Hot Zone Hunter and go ahead and put on Hot Start. That's going to be another really good badge that you could go with. Now, a couple of non-Hall of Fame badges that I would consider are going to be Flexible Release, Green Machine, as well as Volume Shooter. And you can even go ahead and throw in Clutch Shooter in there if you want to. I feel like all 3 of these badges are definitely going to be useful. But again, it really comes down to what you like the most when it comes down to these kind of setups. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, we got a lot of badges that we're going to be able to work with. So the first one that you definitely want to put on for any build is going to be Quick First Step on Hall of Fame. Now, Handles for Days, of course, going to be an essential badge no matter what. If you're looking to make this build more so for your teammates to help out, go ahead and put on Flashy Passer, Floor General, as well as Dimer. But if not, If you're going to consider any of these 3 badges, I would go with Floor General. But for the time being, I'm going to go with Tight Handles as well as Space Creator just to get those ankle breaking animations. Then from there, I'm going to go with Bronze Bailout as well as Unpluckable. And the very last ones, it really comes down to what you like. For me, like I said, Floor General is the badge that I would run, and the last one you could go with Downhill or even double up on one of the bronze badges. This is the setup I'm going with 4, 22, 23, and 3. Thank y'all so much to everybody who decided to make it this far. If you did, go ahead and comment down RGF right now. I got another video dropping for y'all tomorrow every day like I always tell y'all. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. If you are looking to join the RGF family, y'all already know what y'all need to do as well. Go ahead and hit that like button. But also do not forget to turn on post notifications and go ahead and share this video with your family and friends, y'all. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.